So if I was limited to telling a new lawyer one bit of advice, this would probably be it. You need to specialize in something. You need to find a very narrow niche at which you become the best. The day of the general practitioner was over a long time ago. Back in the 60s, maybe early 70s, you could open your practice, do a little bit of real estate, do a little personal injury, contract law, estates and trust, etc. Those days are gone for a long time. Now, some practitioners do specialize in various areas. That's not really a problem. But I think you need to, at the beginning of your career, find something that you can become an expert in. There's 1.4 million lawyers in this country. The population of the United States right now is about 330 million. That's one lawyer for every 233 people. That's a 15% increase over the last 10 years. In 2019, we graduated over 33,000, almost 34,000 from law school. And every year we pump out that many new lawyers. So if you're going to make it in this business, if you're going to be successful professionally, successfully financially, my recommendation is to hone in on one area that you could be an expert at. Former Chief Justice Warren Burger had a quote. It says, "America was turning into a society overrun by hordes of lawyers hungry as locusts." And that's true. There's a lot of us out there. So what do you are looking to do when you're looking for that niche? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, obviously you're looking for something within your skill set. If you are good on your feet, you can think on your feet, you're articulate, you're aggressive, maybe you want to find something in the litigation field. Whatever matches your skill set, that would be the first thing. Obviously, it's something that you can see yourself being very good at. It also should be something that has a market for it. For example, back in 1978, 1979, we had the Bankruptcy Act that had been around for a long time. And in 1979, Congress passed the Bankruptcy Code, which is what we practice today. If you look at a graph of bankruptcy filings through the Act, and you look at 79, that went straight up. And a lot of lawyers saw that before anybody else did and decided they were going to be a bankruptcy lawyer. And they were going to do only bankruptcy. And they profited very well financially because of that. It also has to be something that you could see yourself enjoying. If you're not a numbers person, you're more of a litigator person. If you were to go into tax law, you'd be miserable. So you want to look at that. And the narrower, the better, okay? Because the more narrow you become, the less competition you're going to have in that area. At the beginning, when you've decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is going to be my niche, there's a couple things you want to do. First of all, you want to take as many of those cases as you possibly can for a couple reasons. And the amount of the fees that you're going to get in the beginning probably isn't the highest metric in deciding cases. You need those cases. You need to take those cases. You need to litigate those cases. Even if there's not a lot of money in it to begin with, you may take cases where you can't get paid, but you're taking it because you're trying to develop this expertise. You need to seek referrals. Now, for example, I use the bankruptcy example. Back when the Bankruptcy Act was, on the out and the Bankruptcy Code was being instituted, not many people did bankruptcy. And so these lawyers who became bankruptcy lawyers got all the referrals because someone would come to, say, a general practitioner, somebody didn't do bankruptcy, didn't want anything to do with it. Oh, this guy or this person here, he or she handles only these cases. You will get referrals from other lawyers. You want to find opportunities to maybe write articles for local publications, bar association publications, maybe do some CLE speaking for your particular expertise so that you become kind of the go-to person and you're recognized in your community as the person that does only this. If it's really particularized, lawyers who don't practice in that area, most lawyers don't want to venture into new areas. And if you're on their radar and they know that that's what you do, you're going to get referrals. You also want to try to make law when you can do that. So if you have an issue that you think is ripe for decision, it's not been on the books yet, spend the time to bring that and see if you can make some good law. You are going to dominate other lawyers who come into your area, and other lawyers that are also experts in that area. You're going to be on par with them. It does remove some stress in your practice because you really know what you're doing. There's no question about it. And that projects to everyone. It projects to a court, it projects to other lawyers, and more importantly, it projects to prospective clients. People know when they sit down with somebody, if you're trying to bull them and just make stuff up, people see right through that. But when you're talking to somebody that really knows what they're talking about, it becomes clear as day that that's what's going on. You also become very efficient. Why? Because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. You have a form for everything. You've done every motion, every procedure. You know the local rules. You know the federal rules. Like I said, you are going to get referral work for which you're not going to have to pay for advertising. So these are some of the thoughts that you want to consider when you're entering the practice, and really look for that one little niche in which you can become the go-to person in that area.